So we define money laundering as a process of hiding source of income. So in process there are steps. Similarly, in money laundering there are three phases. First one is placement. In placement phase, criminals bring out illegal money generated from criminal activities. He will place that money into financial institution, or he may place that illegal money in legitimate business. Now whenever we are talking about different phases of money laundering, you have to look at what happens to the source of income. In the placement phase, source of income has not changed. The criminal may convert that illegal money into other forms of assets, like converting into different kind of foreign exchange currencies, but still the source of income has not changed, only the form of currency has changed. The another example may be the criminal will move that money from one country to another through wire transfer or through cash smuggling. Criminal wants to move that money to a particular jurisdiction where AML safety controls are weak. But the main point to remember here is that source of income still remains same. It has not been hidden or disguised. You should also know about different methods that are employed in placement phase. First one is structuring. It is method of carrying transaction just below the threshold reporting requirement. Threshold transaction reporting or cash threshold transaction reporting in some countries is a regulation that requires financial institutions and other businesses to report to the government any cash transaction that exceed a certain threshold amount. This regulation was put in place to help prevent money laundering and other illegal activities that involve large amount of cash. In Nepal, banking and financial institutions are required to report any cash, foreign currency and remittance transaction above NPR 1 million rupees to Financial Intelligence Unit. Let's say if Mr. Bad Guy comes to deposit 9,900,000 just below the threshold amount so that his transaction is not reported, then that is called structuring. The main reason of performing such transaction is that he doesn't want his large value transaction to be reported to FIU. Another technique used by criminals is known as smurfing. Smurfing is a related concept to structuring, where multiple individuals carry out multiple cash deposit or purchasing of the monetary instrument just below the threshold amount. Let's say Mr. Bad Guy of previous example employs Mr. A, who comes to bank to deposit 5,500,000. He also employs Mr. B to deposit 4,400,000 in the same bank. Now the total amount deposited by Mr. A and B comes around 9,900,000, which is again just below the threshold amount of rupees 10 lakhs or 1 million. Smurfing is little difficult to detect than structuring. Criminals can make smurfing more complicated by the help of technique called microstructuring. In microstructuring, criminals break a large transaction into tiny amounts and then use various persons to make deposits into financial institution. Now Mr. Bad Guy will employ 30 henchmen to deposit 3,300,000 in the same account through various branches. Again, the amount is equal to 9,90,000, which is just below threshold amount of 1 million. Now let's go to the second phase of money laundering, that is layering. In this stage, criminal will create layer of transaction to hide the source of income. But keep in mind, here criminal is not able to remove the source of income. The main purpose of this phase is to create more layer of transaction so that it will be very difficult to trace the original transaction. For example, criminals will move the previously deposited money from one financial institution to another, then moving that fund outside the country through wire transfer. After that, money is broken down and invested into share and debenture through different brokers. Can you count the number of transactions? It is lot, right? Integration is the final stage of money laundering. In this stage, the source of income of illegal money has been hidden or disguised into something legal. Now criminals are free to use that money for anything he or she desires, like purchasing luxurious house, car, or investing again in their illegal enterprises to generate more illegal money.